Welcome to Center Heist Productions. Please hit the likes and subscribe down below in your right hand corner. Muchly appreciate that and share it with your friends and family. And if you come across the channel, please don't leave without subscribing and hitting the likes, as we've built an integral channel that focuses on factual information as it falls. We do not run into Gossipville and Rumorland because it 9 times out of 10 it's just a pile of garbage that somebody wants to feed to get some views. So we don't do that here, and we take great pride in that. We don't use clickbait to get you here either. So here we go. This is the review. I know it's a little late. Yeah, I bear with me. I had a major event in my outreach this weekend, so it put me behind, and that was a very important event, which went very well, taking care of the homeless, getting them some clothing and food. So that had to take priority. So anyway, I'm catching up here. So anyway, let's not digress. Let's we have a good community here. Just keep it clean. Leave your comments. Tell me what you thought of the game. Anyway, this is back for Saturday night's game when Pittsburgh visited Montreal. We had Fowler in the net, and we got a shutout. Great response from Montreal. In that regard, I wouldn't go crazy in the fact that it looks like it's quite clear that Pittsburgh looks like they're trying to fold in order to get a top. Probably the Gavin McInnes sweepstakes. Bear with me, I have to close my curtain. Sorry, I got too bright. That's what it looks like. It looks like Kyle Dubas, is going after trying to get a shot at Gavin. Now, anyhow, now I forget his name. Anyway, McKenna, Gavin McKenna. So that's the exact. They look like they're folding in the. That's why I say I wouldn't get overly excited about the outcome of this. Great response for Fowler making 31 saves as a Canadian shutout and blanked the Penguins. That was great. Kid looks great. Stopping 31 shots is pretty impressive. All right, so let's look at it. First period, it was 2-0 Montreal. Montreal added one in the second, added one in the third. Third period one was an empty netter. We had it, and that made it 4-0. A shutout was captured by the rookie. Great to see, and so we'll go into the stat department, talk a bit more about it. All right, let's look at the first period in the shot departments. It was 10-9 Montreal. Even in the second period, 5 apiece. And then Pittsburgh poured it on in the third, 17-6. And that's a 31-21 shots in the final for the Penguins. 60.9 in the face-off departments to 39.1 for the Penguins. Power play 100% for the Canadians, 1 for 1, 0 for 3 for the Pens. Penalty minutes 6-2. We got to watch our discipline. 6-2 for Montreal. Hits were 24-16 for the Pens. Block shots were 16-13 for the Habs. Giveaways 20-8 for the Pens. They just kept coughing up the puck, and that's great for us. 5-4 takeaways for Montreal. So with that being said, phenomenal game for the Habs. We got first period. The first goal of the game came from Yari Slavkovsky, which would have been the game-winning goal. He scores with a beautiful shot, wired it from a pass from Cole Caulfield and Suzuki on the power play. Great snapshot, picked the corner, and beautiful goal for Slav, who's been really coming into his own. Great to see this. We finally, and that was at doesn't say the time. Yes, I thought 16:41 of the first period. Then we got into Owen Beck adding one. Finally gets his first goal at probably after 5 or 6 times. He probably could have had his first goal by now, but had so many taken away from him. He's got the record for that. 18:49. He gets a goal, snapshot. Good to see Owen get it. He really picked his spot, and it was a beautiful goal. So that was 2-0 after the first period. Then we had Josh Anderson assisted by Kapanen, and that was a shorthanded goal. Beautiful goal. Snapshot. Anderson gets the breakaway with a pass from Kapanen, who's been just doing a great job for a kid. And this was great to see Anderson cash in on the breakaway. And so that was a great result. Then we got to this. That was at shorthanded goal at 12:14 because Montreal had some penalty issues, no doubt. Josh Anderson then gets an unassisted one for his eighth of the season at 17:02 in the third period as the net was empty, and he gets it. Nice to see Josh cash in for a couple. This great. So great team effort, and they played really. The great thing was they played extremely solid in front of Fowler, so that helped. This was definitely a team effort. They were blocking shots. This is what the type of effort you need. If they could only get more consistent with this, it's just the problem seems to be one game on, one game off. I don't know how long it's going to take them to get more consistent. Yes, and we got a minute here where we got two games back to back wins. That's great, but we don't seem to go into a good stretch of wins. They seem to divert a lot of times back to this inconsistency. So great game, awesome. Congratulations to Fowler. Definitely looking like the future franchise goaltender. I like the duo now anyway with Fowler and Dobish. Looks like a perfect backup to that from the way it's looking. These two look like the right two to go with after Sam Montembeault's been sent to Laval. I think it's time. I've said it before. I think it's time to move on from Montembeault. I just don't think he was losing the race for a long time now. In training camp onward to Dobish. And now, you got Fowler's putting on this performance that's speaking volumes. So this is great outcome. Way to go, Montreal. And doing this on home ice, that's beautiful. However, like I said, I wouldn't get too high and mighty as fans because Pittsburgh's really, with the way they're dismantling the team Dubas is doing it, it looks like they're really trying to get themselves in a position to get um, Gavin McKenna. That's what I see in my visual. Anyway, thank you for watching. We'll get to the next episode, which will be the next game, which was up to the back to back Sunday, them going to Pittsburgh. And we also will have an extra tape on there, as we know Philip Deneau getting picked back up by Montreal on a trade, and he's back in Habs land. We'll discuss that a little more in a tape coming up. And yeah, we'll go from there. So Deneau will be, from what it sounded like he was going to be in the Habs lineup come the Sunday game in Pittsburgh. So we'll see how that all pans out. Great talk. Um, great. I hope you have a great Christmas and holidays. We'll talk more and go Habs go. We'll catch you in the next episode. This is where the puck drops first at Center Heist Productions.